Good Monday afternoon. Happy New Year. I am Hoyt filling in for Journey Taylor today. We've got a lot coming up on this first THV 11 news at noon of 2024. And that includes 2 deadly shootings in one night on both sides of the new year here in Little Rock. One involves a police officer. We'll get details for you in just a second. And a new year means many new laws are kicking in. What you need to know about health-related changes coming to Arkansas. Plus, a pup who spent nearly 500 days in shelters finally has a new leash on life. How Neo found his forever family. That is coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's bring in meteorologist Simone Thomas. A happy new year to you, Simone, as we get a look at what could be an interesting first week of the year, right?
Happy New Year, Rolly. Now we're starting out the week on a calm but also pretty cold note. Here's behind me is a look at where everybody woke up to this morning, those lows for the first day of 2024. 28 is what we woke up to in the capital city, waking up to 32 in Pine Bluff. Hot Springs waking up to 27. Conway and Searcy waking up to 27 as well. As we continue through the day, we do have a few clouds still left to our northeast, but that'll start to move out of the way, giving us some sunny conditions this afternoon. Highs looking to climb to more of the middle to upper 40s. So going to be a lot cooler than what we saw yesterday. So if you have any plans to travel or head out or even spend some time outside under this sunshine, it wouldn't hurt to bundle up. Now I have a look at the rest of the week and some big changes coming up to the forecast in a few, so make sure you stick around.
All right, Simone, thank you. Let's go on to our headlines now. As we mentioned, Little Rock police already investigating the first homicide of 2024 and the last one of 2023 just before midnight. Detectives responded just before 4 a.m. to the call of a shooting on East 39th Street. They found one man dead from gunshot wounds, that body taken to the state crime lab. There's no information yet about a suspect or a motive, but another man shot by Little Rock police officers has died, and that officer recovering from a knife wound. LRPD officials held a press conference less than an hour ago reporting that officers got a call to the Walmart on Baseline around 8:15 last night to reports that a man was trying to steal something from the store. Police say that man, Benjamin McDaniel, cut the responding officer with a knife, and that prompted that police officer to pull and fire his gun. McDaniel later died from those injuries, and the officer got treated and went home from the hospital. We asked for the name of that officer. LRPD says it should be released within the next 24 hours. Sounds of a massive earthquake hitting central Japan today. It triggered a tsunami and warnings to expect more trouble. Possible aftershocks have authorities issuing evacuation advisories, and preliminary reports show that the quake hit a magnitude of 7.6. Several people who returned to their homes ended up getting swept away and drowned. Stadiums have been set up for hundreds of evacuees where they will likely have to stay for a few days. Israel has begun demobilizing some of its army reservists that are fighting in Gaza in order to give them a break and prepare for the long war ahead. Meanwhile, Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome, turned aside a barrage of rockets launched from inside Gaza overnight. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the war against Hamas, which began with an attack on Israel on October 7th, will continue for, quote, many more months until Hamas is eliminated and the hostages are returned. A new year means a new list of state laws going into effect. Some of the biggest are focused on providing better health care coverage. As THV 11's Sarah Hobakowicz shows us, 2 new laws specifically focus on helping new mothers and people that work in public safety.
The first step in solving any challenge, any problem, is identifying it as such, right?
As a licensed therapist and new mom herself, Natasha Thorne understands the importance of postpartum mental health care.
Those middle of the night moments, those, up by myself, or, just those times where the baby's upset, all of these things go into the mental health.
In an effort to support new moms, on January 1st, Act 316 will go into effect in Arkansas, a new law requiring doctors to screen new moms for depression and have insurance companies cover the cost. Thorne says it's a game changer.
screening is your first line of defense. Some moms may not even recognize it as such. They may not even realize that, oh, what I'm going through is depression. Oh, that there is help available.
A second law taking effect next week also pushes to make mental health care more accessible in the state. Act 537 will require a public employer to cover counseling for public safety employees after a traumatic event on duty, including first responders like Jeff Bennett with the North Little Rock Fire Department.
There are certain runs that hit us a little bit harder than others. Kids, children, people losing their homes, they're having their worst day of their life, and we go experience that with them.
These services will be required to be available not just to firefighters, but also officers for police, probation, surveillance, and juvenile detention.
Mental health is something that takes its toll on you. No matter how strong you are, it can take its toll on you.
According to the CDC, law enforcement officers and firefighters are more likely to die by suicide than in the line of duty. Bennett hopes the better access to mental health services and less of a stigma around the topic will help everyone who needs it.
We look out for each other, but having a professional to be able to reach out to makes a big difference. This could be a lifesaver.
Sarah Herbakowitz reporting for us there. She's done a good job of tracking all these new laws, and we've got a list of them that are in effect now that we're in the new year. Just find this story on thv11.com. Well, after the excesses of the holiday, many Americans considering going cold turkey, giving up alcohol for the entire month of January. But we know it's not always easy. Alcohol use and abuse did rise sharply during the pandemic. But a survey from the American Psychiatric Association found that about a third of Americans say they're drinking less over the last 3 years. Cutting back can be good for everything from heart health to blood pressure and liver function to improve sleep, mental clarity, and mood.
I think one of the biggest benefits of Dry January is it gives all of us a chance to re-examine our relationship with alcohol. Setting short-term achievable goals, so sometimes taking that week by week rather than an entire month.
Doctors also suggest using the buddy system, getting someone to try Dry January with you and talking to a therapist if you need some extra support. All right, hopefully we've all experienced a joyous season of giving over the past few weeks. We've gifted our loved ones special presents and received some in return, hopefully. But on this New Year's Day, our Tiffany Lee shares a story of a special four-legged friend who might have received the greatest gift of all, a forever home.
Allie, there's this dog at the shelter. It's been there for over a year. It's been part of a cruelty case.
A phone call Allie Papke with Best Friends Pet Resource Center will never forget.
I was like, you know, when you hear about those dogs who have been locked up or pent up for so long, they can have behavior issues, and it can be really hard to rehabilitate them, especially if they're in there and have been in there that long because of abuse.
But an animal shelter in Central Arkansas assured Allie that this dog, named Neo, was different. An angel, some might say.
The day I met that dog, I was just blown away.
After 450 days in a shelter, Neo, a victim of severe animal abuse, was welcomed to Best Friends Pet Resource Center.
To meet a dog who had been through all of that, who just immediately trusted you and immediately wanted attention from you, it was just mind-blowing.
Proving Best Friends' mission matters.
Neo was that one that I was like, oh my gosh, we're making a difference.
Neo stayed in a temporary home for a little bit, but after a few weeks, his foster mom posted that he was ready to find his forever home.
And it was kind of love at first sight.
Linda saw the post and immediately wanted to meet Neo. One interaction and she was sold, officially adopting the sweet pup on August 6th.
Oh, he's just great companionship. And to know that there's one less animal that's being abused, that's got a good home and is happy.
Giving not only Neo a new outlook on life, but Linda as well.
It makes your life worthwhile. And he's wonderful company. He's there as soon as you come in. He's right at the door. Happy to see you. Let's go play.
Covering news where you live.
Yeah, it's a handsome boy.
Tiffany Lee, 5 News.
Good stuff, Neo. And of course, remember, at this time of year, adoptions rise, but so do returns of animals back to those shelters, and that search for a forever home can sometimes lead to a temporary one. Well, Little Rock Animal Village's Bernard Bracely says there are 200 dogs at the Little Rock shelter right now, even though adoptions have been free since Thanksgiving.
And we're doing everything we can to get them out. We're going to continue doing free adoptions all the way to the first of the year. so we can try and get as many animals out as possible.
But it's different with cats, by the way. It's the opposite. They're gone as soon as they arrive. Bracely says it's probably because they're lower maintenance than dogs. So we asked new dog adopters to try giving it about 3 months before you bring them back. Still to come on your THV 11 News at noon, we're going to verify New Year's Day traditions across the globe and looking into some changes for beloved cartoon characters coming up this year. And Simone?
It's a beautiful day out there. We could see some changes coming up later on this week. We're going to talk more about it coming up right after this break.